This is Pete. Pete has a condition that's actually very rare in cats. It's called megaesophagus, and it means that his esophagus is too large for food to go down and to be moved down by the muscular action. What has happened is Pete's food will get stuck in his esophagus, or basically in his throat. So we're trying to work out what Pete's future is going to be. He's a very happy cat. You can see he's got bright eyes. Has a hard time breathing because of his esophagus is so large. But right now what we're doing is tube feeding him. We're feeding him through this tube, but he can still eat just a little bit. So this is what Pete's 4 times a day. So he gets a flush of water, 3 tubes of formula, and then he gets, these are his treats. So let's start with the treats. And the treats are nothing but baby food, so very simple. He loves them. The important thing is that Pete needs to stay upright when he is eating so that the food goes down. So we've come up with this little trick here that we write love notes to Pete up here. I love Pete. Little hearts. We played tic-tac-toe last night. He's reaching up to eat, but you can see, so the food can go down. He'll actually put his paws up to eat more. So the next thing I'm going to do is bring all my stuff in here and make sure there's no air in the formula syringes, because we don't want to introduce air into his stomach, because we know what happens when you do that. You burp and you fart, you get stomach pains. We take the top off the feeding tube, and then we keep our finger over it all the time so that we don't let air get in. And then I'm going to flush it with some water, just to make sure that it's all open, there's nothing stuck. So I do the water flush all while he's just sitting there eating away. And then we start the formula. And this formula is, it's actually put out by Royal Canin. It's not cheap, but we're hoping to get him over to a different diet at some point. But right now, this is what's best for him. So we put this in at a slow rate. We just put it in slowly, because thinking it's going directly to his stomach. So if you can imagine somebody was putting food in your stomach and they just jammed it all in, you suddenly have this, you'd be full. And he's going to get about 36 cc's of formula. We vary it between 32 and 48 cc's. And he's a super happy boy. He loves when he gets an opportunity to get out of the cage and run about the shelter and try and find kibbles. So we have to make sure all the kibble from other cats is up high, or so where he can't get it, because actually he can jump pretty well too. And then when we do have medications, he gets medications twice a day. We put that in water, and it goes in the same way in a different syringe in the syringe. So it makes actually giving medications really easy. And you can see how he's standing up, and that's exactly what we want him to do, so that food just goes down. And that's all there is to it. Once we're finished with the last syringe, we cap off the tube, and Pete finishes up his wall art, and that's it. We clean up for next time, we clean up everything, and then he'll get fed again sometime this evening before we go to bed. Thanks, Pete. Bye, sweetie. Bye, handsome. He says, let me have my treats.